Internet, Eric here. First off, thank you to everyone who joined us or who has watched Frenzy and I's Friday the 13th live stream, the timeline. It's exploded bigger than we, either of us could have ever imagined. You know, we're lucky if we got what, 100, maybe 200, if that. That's pushing it, views, and we're at over 1,000. So thank you to everyone that has watched it. Current subscribers, old subscribers, and new. We really appreciate it. And thank you to everyone that's watched our little, I guess you would say we call them short rounds, you know, little tidbits of things when Frenzy and I get together. And with, I thought it would be, I thought it would be a good idea. With that, I guess you would say timeline discussion and the little short rounds, that the next couple of videos or movie discussions I would discuss would be Friday the 13th fan films. There are tons out there, and there's more than just the Never Hike Alone series, which I've discussed. So I thought that it'd be interesting to discuss a couple of fan films. The first one I chose came out in 2000. When did it come out? Hold on, let me check this out. Because I actually have two different years. According to Friday the 13th franchise.com, came out in 2007, but according to IMDb, it came out in 2008. It doesn't fucking matter. I'm discussing Friday the 13th Mother's Day. Right there it says 2015. This is a poster for like the updated director's cut or something like that. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I discuss plot, spoilers, specific scenes, what have you. The basic plot of this is based off of one of the Camp Crystal Lake young adult novels that came out post Jason Goes to Hell. So I think it was in 1993. And here is a side note. If you do know me, I do know the author personally. I am going to, even though I did not like the book and I have some personal differences with author Eric Morris, aka William Pattison, I was going to watch this. And like I always say, if I know the person personally, I'm still gonna say my honest thoughts. Kind of like when I discussed Groundhog Day, that film, and I knew Dave Maggott at the time, and I discussed both pros and cons. I was 100% fair. I'm gonna do the same with this because it's an adaptation of the work. Anyways, I had to get that out of the way. A basic plot of this is we are following a group of people. One, it's mainly, I think her name is Carly, and she is invited by her friend Billy and his group of friends to go an overnight camping trip to Camp Crystal Lake. And unbeknownst to them, a hunter finds the mask of Jason Voorhees. Or first, he finds the severed head of Pamela Voorhees. He finds the mask of Jason Voorhees, puts on the mask, and of course is possessed and stalks the teens. Um, this is better than the book. Anyways, get this out of the way. The acting is what you would expect from a fan film, and that's not a nice thing to say, but you can tell that. Well, I can't say for sure, but it seems like these are not professional actors. I don't know if the director. I think his name is. Let me see here. Corey Stevens. I don't know if he personally knew these actors. I don't know if he had a casting call, whatever. Some are fine, some are not good. Um, let's see here. The actress who plays Carly, she's fine. She's not given a lot to work with the source material. Billy Boone, he's one of the friends. He's fine. You have the asshole guy, the asshole jock. I can't think of his name. He sucks. You have the nerd. He sucks, and then you have the filler characters. No one's really that special. But no one's really like awful, awful. They're just there. The actor who plays the hunter, um, he doesn't really speak much. He yells and screams when he finds what's inside the box. When because there's a scene where he's hunting in the woods. He trips over a stone and he digs where the stone is, and that's where he pulls out the box that has Mrs. Voorhees' head, and he pulls out Jason's hockey bag. So other than a kind of a lame scream, um, the most of his performance is body language, and he's pretty decent for the most part. He has really menacing eyes. I will say that. The director, he does a really good shot, the director has really good close-ups of this actor's eyes when this actor is trying to look gone, psychotic, mean. Um, so praise him there. Um, the blood. I don't know the budget. It doesn't say what the budget is on this. Um, but it's fine for a fan film. The gore isn't too bad, but we get some stabbings. We get some. It's interesting. Jason uses because Jason is possessing a hunter. We get some gunshots. We so like a person has a gun pointed to the back of their head, and we get the usual splatter of jelly or whatever it is on the white surface. It looks fine. Someone is actually impaled with the gun. That is creative. That is not in the book that I remember. So I will say that is good. I give bonus points for that. I really like the scene where you have the French girl. The French girl's awful. Like, and again, it's the source material. This French girl, she's talking like this, no? Stuff like this. The bad stereotypical French accent. She's not very good, but I like the part where her and the asshole character, Paul Sexton. Yeah, if you've read the book, you'll know who Paul Sexton is. Her and Paul are in a canoe in the lake, and the hunter like leaps out. We have this nice shot of her sitting in the canoe. Paul was pushed, or he accidentally fell into the water, something like that. And she's looking for him, calling for Paul, and the hunter leaps out, in front, like, of the camera. Like, we have the boat here, so he's in the front, like where we could see. Leaps out, grabs her, pulls her down, starts stabbing her. That's a really good shot. I really like that. And then I will say this: I watched a version, like the ultimate cut or whatever it's called, that was uploaded to his YouTube channel a couple years ago, and they removed some stuff. And this is the only cut that I have seen like in full. One improvement that they did was my feelings towards William Patterson, Eric Morris aside, he plays the face and the voice of Mrs. Voorhees' head. They took away they zoomed in on William's eyes, and that's because I have seen pictures. I have seen the original footage. The makeup or mask or whatever that they have William wear is awful. But we get to look at the close up of his eyes, and even though we get to see, it must be a mask because we see like William's real eye here, and then we see whatever it is he's wearing. He's got a wig. That's a bonus, because we don't hide your imperfections. I'll give him that. I know they changed his voice a little bit because his performance wasn't great. That's an improvement, and I'm saying this God's honest truth as someone who is discussing a film. I liked how there's a scene where, let's say, what's her name? Carly is being attacked by the hunter, and Billy comes to the rescue. He leaps on the guy's back, and he's, shanking him, with this knife. He ends up getting killed, and once Carly removes the removes the mask from the hunter, that's how Jason's immortality escapes the hunter's body. He dies. That was cool. I liked that because it did remind me of Jason Goes to Hell a little bit. How the body can withstand so much damage, the bodies he's possessing. So I liked that. But then Carly ends up taking the hunter's shotgun and shooting Mrs. Voorhees' head. It blows up in this cheesy effect. But again, it is what it is. The score, the music, it's literally the only stuff that I noticed was scores literally ripped from past movies. Whether it's the scene, the music from the end of the first movie where Alice is in the canoe, that's the ending theme to when Carly is in the canoe and she throws Jason's mask into the lake. They have taken the song that Crispin Glover dances to in part 4. They throw that in there. And then they're also throwing in, there's a Power Man 5000 song in there. I think it's Bombshell. But gotta do what you gotta do for what little budget you have. I'm glad that they did not add a lot of things from the book. They got rid of the Norman Bates type character, you know, the shop owner. They just made him an old man in this instead of having that whole scene where he's chasing the nerd. I'm glad they got rid of a lot of the daydreams. The nerd character isn't as obnoxious. Although the scene where he's being chased by the hunter and he's trying to defend himself by literally throwing leaves and twigs at him is pretty fucking stupid. Overall, legit feelings. Like I say, my incidents with the author aside, and he is involved with this movie. Friday the 13th. Hold on, let me get that. What the fuck? Friday the 13th. Mother's Day. It's not the film adaptation. Well, it's not awful. Its problems notwithstanding, the acting is what it is for a fan film. I was impressed by some of the kills. I liked the actor who played the possessed hunter. I guess you would say, not Jason. Didn't care too much for a lot of the cast. Didn't care too much for the fact that they ripped previous scores and songs. William Patterson, notwithstanding, he was awful. It's decent. It's an hour and a half, I think. I didn't waste my time. But I'll say this, I wouldn't give it a thumbs down on YouTube. You can find it on YouTube, but I probably wouldn't give it a thumbs up. So, but hey, if you're a Friday the 13th fan and you like fan films, this is a movie you should watch for the heck of it. Not just for the fact that it's a Friday the 13th fan film, but the fact that it's, you know, the young adult novels do have a cult following. I don't know why, but I've only read the first one, so we'll see. Anyways, that's it. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Comment below. Have you seen this version? What do you think? Have you read the books? Let's keep the William Patterson talk to a minimum. But your thoughts on this film? What do you think about it? Yada yada. I just got off work. I'm tired. I need some caffeine. Got one more fan film discussion planned. I think it's called Rose Blood. It's a direct sequel to Part 7 with Tina. And then this Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Central, I'm bringing back my interview series, and I will be talking to Brian White, the Deathmatch Juggalo, who is getting ready for this year's IWA Deep South Carnage Cup. That's going to be a blast. So, cheers.